Farm Radio Show with agricultural news, information, interviews, in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henney and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
Mostly sunny good morning to you. Mostly sunny, partly cloudy, mostly cloudy, rainy, light snow. Depending on where you are, we've got a whole mix of it here in Michigan, but I hope you're having a good day wherever you might be. Jonathan Dent here in the studio. No Terry Henney today. We hope to hear from him again tomorrow. As I mentioned, it is kind of a mixed bag this morning, especially when it comes to the weather. We've got mixed precipitation, light rain, partly sunny skies, mostly sunny skies. Here at Radio Center, we're looking outside and we see a few clouds, but other than that, some nice blue skies. It is kind of chilly. We're coming out of kind of a chilly morning here with frost seen all across the state. That's the one constant. We had some frost, but as I mentioned, we had some snow, some mixed precipitation, especially in the early hours. We're seeing a trend of kind of below average temperatures over the past few days, and that is going to continue. Yesterday, only a high of 49 out at the airport. The average for this time of year is around 60 degrees, so not too far below average, but definitely below average. Not quite as above average as we got a couple weeks ago there. Overnight low of 34 degrees last night, at least here out at the airport. That's below our average of 39. So we're still in that range, just kind of the lower end of that average range. Right now, we have some partly sunny skies out at the airport, 44 degrees rather. Sunny skies out at the airport. Downtown Midlands at 45 degrees. And here at Radio Center, also 45 degrees. Northwest winds at 7 miles per hour. We're not expecting that breeze to really pick up all that much, and we're not expecting that temperature to pick up all that much, though it will warm up a little bit. We expect to get up to around 52 degrees today. We've had sunshine so far, at least here in Saginaw, but we do see some clouds move in here later in the afternoon, bringing a bit of precipitation with them, at least expected. Some scattered showers this afternoon. We'll be on the northern edge of this system that's moving through here in the Great Lakes Bay region. Most of that rain will be in the lower half of the lower peninsula. A few hundredths of an inch to a few tenths of an inch expected. Again, the further south you go, the more you can expect to see. Not too much, not too significant in terms of precipitation. A slight breeze from the west will keep up, maxing out at 10 miles per hour, so not really too much. Keep things moving a little bit at least. We'll stay pretty chilly tonight with around 33 degrees for a low, with winds beginning to shift more out of the north as a high-pressure system moves down over Lake Michigan, and that wind will bring a high of only around 52 degrees for tomorrow. Those clouds should clear off a bit as we move through the day tomorrow, giving us some sun, at least to close out the day. We should see a sunset. That means that Wednesday night we expect to see some more frost as we get into those low 30-degree range again, but warming up to around 60 degrees on Thursday. So a nice day is coming up towards the end of the week. The UP may see a few scattered showers throughout the day on Thursday, but down this way we are expecting to stay pretty dry with partly cloudy skies. A slight chance of rain on Friday. If we do see any, it'll just be some scattered showers, nothing too significant. Out in the thumb, there is a better chance of seeing that moisture. Once again, we get back up to that 60-degree mark, even a few degrees over for Friday to close out the week. Then we cool off again to start out the weekend as a low-pressure system works its way through, with highs in the mid to upper 50s on Saturday and Sunday. Rain overnight Saturday into the day on Sunday. And that should be a few tenths of an inch to over half an inch by the time everything's said and done. We'll keep an eye on that one. And we get more of a chill to start out next week. We're looking at a high in the upper 40s, maybe up to that 50-degree range here in Saginaw to start out on Monday. Our long-range outlook takes us through May 8th. Ooh, time flies, doesn't it? May 8th, below average temperatures and below average precipitation. We have seen above average temperatures in the month of April, but We're going to be evening that out as we move on into May. Precipitation is staying kind of below average here as we move into May. Average high, as I mentioned, 60 degrees. Average low for this date, 40 degrees. Our projected is below average on both of those, 52, 33. Record high on this date, set in 1990, 87 degrees. I'm trying to think, we didn't quite reach up. We reached up to 80 earlier this month, but not quite that high. And we're in no danger of hitting that today. Record low on this date, 25 degrees, set in 1919. And then tied again in 1934. Sun will set this evening at 8:31, rise tomorrow morning at 6:37 in the morning. We'll have more on the weather as we move on through our broadcast this morning. When we come back, we'll hear from Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer for a look at the markets. And then for more on the markets, we'll head over to MAC in Breckenridge. All of that's ahead, but first, the weather report today brought to you by Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound-up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Quality Roasting of Reese, purchasing local soybeans, processing the local beans, and marketing local Exceller meal, which is a high bypass soybean meal for your dairy herd. They've been doing that since 1991. Quality Roasting of Reese, offering competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans. Give them a call for a quote today.
For a look at the markets this morning, we head over to Oppenheimer and talk with Doug Klein. Doug, good morning to you.
Well, good morning.
Is it a good morning?
Well, do you like red?
Yeah, that's what I've been seeing too.
Kind of the flavor of the day is red, and I'm thinking it kind of comes from China again. They seem to be trying to tell us that they're going into a recession or in a recession, and that it's going to spill over into our markets, and that could, be a little bit negative. But anyway, copper's down pretty good. That's an indicator, almost 3%. And iron ore is down 5.6% today. So that's kind of a good indicator. Lumber's down a couple percent. I don't know. Fuel, all the energies are down 2.5%. So yeah, kind of just a negative feeling on the day. So anyway, here's your numbers. The May corn 643 down 8 1/4. December corn 542 3/4 down 4 3/4. The May soybeans 1440 1/2 down 25 cents. The November soybeans 1261 1/2 down 15 1/4. The May wheat is 631 1/2 down 12, and December wheat 675 1/2 down 10 3/4. The crude oil 77.10 down $1.66. Heating oil is 245.39 down 6.9 cents. Gasoline is 254.81 down 6 1/4 cents, and natural gas is 261.8. That's down a nickel. Over to currencies, Canadian dollar. Canadian dollar is interesting. So the U.S. dollar currently buys $1.3620 Canadian. That's up 81 ticks. The dollar buys 133.90 yen. That's down 30 ticks. The euro's at 109.75, down 66 ticks. The dollar's at 101.81, down 47 ticks, or up 47 ticks. Gold is at 1999.10, down 80 cents. Silver's 24.90, down 51 cents. And platinum's at 1098.80. It's up $1.10.
Now, Doug, well, I've got you here. I saw a report here, and we'll get into this a little bit later when we talk about kind of the grain prices, but the grain prices have been on kind of a steady decline for 4 days straight. Is that what we're seeing on the broader commodity market?
When you get momentum, it's hard to stop it because there's really nobody there to stop it. It kind of trades on AI until it finally exhausts that trend. And so that's kind of what we're waiting for, that trend to stop. I mean, luckily it has some value. Grains you got to eat, right?
Oh,
so eventually it's got to stop. But that's kind of what you deal with. All markets now kind of sort of trade on AI. They kind of tried to get rid of all the human beings in the pit or wherever you want to be, and so it's supposedly a better thing, but it doesn't feel better.
No. The decisions being automated doesn't feel better.
Not
all
really.
Right. So it is just, I'm just trying to get a little bit of a bigger picture view on it there. Well, thank you very much, Doug. We hope to hear some more positive news from you tomorrow.
All right. Good luck.
Right. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer. As I mentioned, cash grain prices and new crop on a steady decline here, and that trend is keeping up today. Prices from MAC and Breckenridge. Cash corn down 5 at $5.87. The new crop down 5 at $4.83. Cash wheat down 11 at $5.95 on the white, $5.60 on the red. New crop down 11 at $6.45 on the white and $5.70 on the red. Over at soy, there the biggest decliner looks like right now. Cash soy down 20 at $14.15. New crop down 14 at $12.02. As I mentioned, Michigan Ag Today actually had a report today, Michigan Ag Today, about this kind of steady decline, and CJ Miller talks a little bit about it from a little bit of a different perspective than we've kind of gone over so far.
Well, sell-offs have continued now for 4 straight days in the grain markets, leading to much lower prices for corn, soybean, and wheat futures. A number of different factors are behind the lower grain market prices.
It's kind of like, make it real simple. What's grabbing you by the lapels and saying, you need to buy me? I'm not seeing anything like that.
And that's Tom Fritz, commodity broker with the EFG Group in Chicago. He says several factors have been driving down grain prices over the past week.
I think it's a combination of a lack of demand for old crop, and it looks like the new crop is going to get planted in a timely manner. As far as I'm concerned, right now, we are going to have more than ample acres planted to corn. Beans are going to fight for their acres, but right now, there's just nothing threatening out there.
Fritz also says the U.S. soybean market has taken a backseat to the Brazilian soybean market.
The Brazilian soybean, they are the dominant player in the world export market. Reports are U.S. is in the process of importing 80,000 tons of beans, but it's usually much later in the season. Well, we're importing them now. Brazil talks about their basis for selling beans to China. There's no overs. It's unders, which is almost unheard of.
In terms of corn and wheat prices, the ongoing situation between Russia and Ukraine continues to play a wild card factor.
If Russia decides to pull out of the Black Sea deal, Ukraine's taken out of the export market. So that would give our corn and wheat markets a bit of a lift. 3 weeks from now, when we get into mid-May, we're going to see where we are with this Black Sea deal. And it seems like every time there's a legitimate threat to this Black Sea deal getting shut down, the market responds with a rally. And given what the market has done over the last, this past week, we're now prone for a rally.
From Tuesday, April 18th to the close of markets on Monday, April 24th, May corn has lost 26.25 cents. May soybeans are 54 cents lower, and May wheat is down 54.5 cents.
A little bit more insight here. We got our most recent crop progress report for Michigan. Winter wheat condition, as compared to last year, is a little bit more in that good to excellent range. Right now, we're at 63% in that good to excellent range. Most of that was in fair last year, 31% in that fair, with only 6% in the very poor to poor section there. So definitely some good numbers there. highlights here from this crop progress. I know we've talked about it before, but with that kind of warm spell that we had a couple weeks ago, a lot of sugar beets went in. We're at 49% planted as of this week for sugar beets in Michigan. Our 5-year average is 30%. So definitely a little bit of a head start there. We're a little bit behind the ball on a couple other things, but mostly we're on average for sugar beets emerged. Obviously, we're ahead there, but in terms of oats planted, slightly below our 5-year average. Over on soy, we're right on average. Corn is right on average. Winter wheat jointing is slightly below average, but nothing too much to be concerned about there. Of course, we are keeping an eye on that frost that we've had, especially fruit growers keeping an eye on that frost that we've had over the past couple of days. We'll have a little bit more as we move on through. Up next, we'll be talking with Craig Voorhees from the Rummel Agency. All that's ahead, but first, this.
The name of the game in farming is profit. And if you want to put more profit into farming, get the help and seasoned sound advice you need from the pros at Star of the West. Sure, the question of selling or storing your harvest is an important one. And Star of the West, with today's technology, can give you the up-to-the-minute information you need to make the right decision, one that certainly affects profits. That's just one reason why you should take your corn, your soybeans, any of your crops to Star of the West. The other is well-trained, experienced, knowledgeable people who are true professionals in agribusiness. Star of the West offers you stability that no other firm in the area can approach. This means that people who are in the same positions year after year get to know your needs better and in general know the business better. Since 1870, Star of the West has been and continues to be the one to trust. Star of the West, keeping the valley growing since 1870. Frankenmuth, Reese, Richville, Gera, and Cass City.
Farm Service brought to you by Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth. If you ever wondered how the farm all got its name, well, we've said it before, but we'll say it again. Here's just an abbreviated list of some of the jobs the Case IH Farm All can do. I know we've gone through, we've kind of skimmed it a few times, but baling, cutting hay, fertilizing, mowing, chopping, irrigating, furrowing, cultivating, hitching, digging, hoisting. There's so many more. Case IH Farm Alls from 35 to 140 horsepower. Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth knows that getting that job done, whatever it may be, starts with choosing the right farm all. That's why they carry a wide range of Case IH compact farm all series tractors, so you'll find the right fit for your operation. From the value-packed compact Farm All A series to the deluxe compact Farm All C and C series with cabs. They make it simple. The tractor does it all. So no matter what you're doing, Can Do comes in red, and that is Farm All. You can learn more at caseih.com/farmall or Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth. They've been doing it right longer. We say good morning to Craig Voorhees from the Rummel Agency. Had to make sure I had you dialed in there, Craig. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Jonathan. How are things there?
Well, they're sunny here. How are things there? We've kind of got a mixed bag when it comes to the state so far here.
We've got partly cloudy, I would call it, in Frankenmuth this morning. So we're getting a little bit of sun, but the clouds are thickening up. So I guess it is what it is.
Well, with the weather that we've had, a lot of guys are out getting work done, and some risks are associated with that. What do you have for us today?
Well, you mentioned the sugar beet planting and how much crop has emerged. And of course, we're not spraying those yet, but I don't think we've sprayed any crop more than sugar beets. I could be wrong on that, but it seems like depending on the variety you're using, some folks are still out there spraying every couple of weeks. And we run the risk when we do that, of course, of having some overspray or drift. In fact, I know some folks that are still working on getting payment from insurance companies that they had that happen to them last summer, and they're just getting the claims resolved this winter because you need your yield results and to prove how much you lost. But the key to that is you want to turn the claim in when you realize that you've been had that happen to you, or if you did it to somebody else. Don't wait until harvest to turn the claim in. Turn it in sooner so that everybody can get on the same page and you can get your payment a little quicker, perhaps, than several months later.
Good advice. out of my own curiosity here, it's mosquito treating season. We've had a lot of notifications, and we've seen those little yellow and white planes flying over. Does that affect farmers and crop growers very much?
Boy, that's a good question. Not to my knowledge, I don't think so.
Okay.
But
Well, we were talking about overspray and drift and all that. I figured maybe there's something involved there. So maybe it's something for me to look into.
yeah, I've never been asked that before, but gosh, I don't know. I'd be curious to do some homework on that myself. It happens, to our farmers, even the best, you can take all the precautions you want, and sometimes things just go wrong and you damage the neighbor's crop, and we never want to have that happen. But hopefully you've got the coverage from the policy to take care of it when it does.
Absolutely. All right, Craig, you have a good one.
We will. You too, Jonathan.
All right. Bye-bye. Craig Voorhees with the Rummel Agency. Something that just came to mind on that mosquito treatment question. A lot of what they use, especially here in Bay County, they went pretty in-depth in it over in the news department here. They use a naturally occurring, what's it called? Bacteria kind of packed onto corn pellets of some kind. So I don't know, something to look into there. I'll check into that. Well, let's head over to Bay Landscaping and Garden Center. We'll shift gears a little bit and talk with Jerry Samalski. Jerry, how are you today?
Good. I might be able to help you with that mosquito control thing. I'm on the advisory council for the regional mosquito control commissions.
Hey.
So there you go. Just timing is everything. So what that is Bacillus thuringiensis, and it's a bacteria. And the bacteria only affects insects when they're in their larval stage.
Okay.
So that's why they spray them now. And they target primarily wet areas, standing water. And so that BT will get in, it'll affect those larvae. And the thought is many generations of mosquitoes occur over one season. So it's just, they grow, they become adults, they mate, they lay eggs, and that cycle may go on, 12, 15 times in a year. So if we can knock the population down the first generation, then there's less coming in the next generations. That's why it's a big blanket spray. And the chemical that they're using, it's actually not a chemical, but the bacteria they're using is very safe for dogs and pets and has no effect whatsoever on vertebrates at all.
And presumably crops as well. It only affects insects, and they spray it primarily over wooded areas that are over flooded. So, hey,
that's right. Standing water areas, or possibly even ditches or whatnot. But again, it does not have any effect on crops and or any vertebrate mammal.
Good information. Well, thank you. Well, for what you came here to talk about, another kind of treatment that we're seeing now, pre-emergent for our lawns. We've been hearing a lot about it. What do you got?
That's right. So right now, if you're going to put a pre-emergent on, now is just getting to be the prime window is getting over. My idea is put it on as late as possible. So if you put it on early 1 month ago, then that means you've lost a month of control. I just looked, our soil temps in Munger are 44 degrees and 47 degrees as a high and a low for the day. So what ends up happening is crabgrass is not going to germinate till the soil temperatures are consistently 55 degrees. So when you put a product down that has a 90-day residual, you just wasted 30 by putting it down too soon. So my thing is wait till the very last moment to take that control when you need it most, when soil temps are high, and put it down. So my suggestion would be maybe with the next week or two to start thinking about putting it down, because once it's down, it needs water to activate, and then you're in good shape. Now remember too, if you're going to reseed areas, you do not want to use a pre-emergent herbicide, because that will help, that will inhibit the grass seed you put down from growing.
Good advice, good information. Thank you very much, Jerry. You have a good one.
Yes, sir.
All right, Jerry Samalski from Bay Landscaping and Garden Center. We'll take a look at the New York markets with Steve Anderson from Baird & Company when we come back.
Is it time? Is your lease coming due? Have you nursed your current ride through the winter and now it's time for something new and shiny in the garage? Hi, I'm Steve Cook from Cook Chevrolet in Vassar, where lease payments, despite what you're hearing on the news, have been and still are as low as ever. If you don't believe it, check this out. The loaded four-wheel drive Crew Cab Silverado pickup with a sticker price of over $54,000 is still available at Cook, starting as low as $391 a month. Chevy Equinoxes, just $263. And once again, maybe the best offer in America, the Chevy Blazer available now from $245 a month. That's less than a cable and internet bill. Spring is here. The time is now. Get out today to the Cook Superstore, M15, top of the hill in Vassar. One more time, Blazers $245, Equinoxes $263, and Silverados just $391.
Payments based on GM employee and family lease and include all rebates. $2,800 on Equinox, $2,900 on Blazer, $3,055 on Silverado due at signing. Chevy, find new roads.
We say good morning to Steve Anderson from Baird & Company. Steve, how are things going in New York?
Well, we're swimming around in some red seas today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 146 points, putting it at 33,726. Volume there is 289 million shares. The NASDAQ is down 131 at 11,906. Volume 333 million shares. Quite a bit of red locally also. Caterpillar 220.13 down 332. Deere 381.63 down 641. CMS 62.79 up 53. Dow 53.11 and down 228. DuPont 68.82 down 173. Corteva 60.75 down 76. GM 33.34 down 94. Trinzio is 18.56 down 47. Walmart 152.68 down 8. Huntington Bank 11.06 down 14. Independent Bank 17.25 down 6, and AT&T is ahead by 17 cents at 17.70.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. You have a good one.
I will. You do the same.
All right, Steve Anderson from Baird & Company. We'll be right back.
Put the unbeatable combination of power and utility to work with a New Holland Power Star Series tractor from Ellen's Equipment in McBain, Ithaca, and Beale City. In 5 models from 65 to 100 PTO horsepower, a Power Star tractor handles jobs in the backfield, barnyard, and everywhere in between. Best-in-class cab visibility and outstanding comfort will increase your productivity. Choose the factory-installed loader that best matches your daily needs. Stop by Ellen's Equipment in McBain, Ithaca, or Beale City today.
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Krizak's House Family Restaurant. If you've got to supply the food for an event coming up, and there's a lot of them I know, and you've got to supply the food, here's the number, 989-894-5531. You give them a call, tell them what you want, they'll prepare it, have it ready for you, take it back to your event, and you will be a hero at your event. Krizak's House, also a great place to dine in, corner of Cass in Michigan, on Bay City's south side.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW